4 reasons why you should not use the leaderboards on Duolingo. It's late. It's almost 1 o'clock, and I've just been working and working and working, and then using Duolingo, trying to get to the top. And so I'll tell you a story. So, many of you know that I use Duolingo. I love Duolingo. I use it to learn Italian, and then I'll also use it to learn Romanian. But right now, I'm using Duolingo specifically for Romanian, to learn Romanian. And usually every week on the side, I can see the leaderboards, or it's a competition, where the people with the most points, they get a reward. For example, gems or lingots or whatever it is. But it's not; these rewards aren't really that special. And I said, okay, this week maybe I'll try to get to the top of the leaderboard. So I think it was like Sunday or like early Monday morning. I started to do Duolingo right away, which is a big mistake. For those who use Duolingo, if you start a competition, you want to start, I think, Sunday night, no, Monday night. Because if you start at the beginning of Monday, like let's say Monday morning, they will put you in a highly competitive league, okay? But if you start Monday night, then it'll be a less competitive league and you can get to the top faster. But anyway, I started on Monday night, and this is the most points that I've ever had in 1 week. I think I got like 5,000 points, which is ridiculous, because I'm in a highly competitive league. There's this woman named Meredith. Meredith is going crazy right now. And so I've just been trying to compete. I've been trying to compete with Meredith, and it's a job. Like, you really have to put in time to get to the top, because on this leaderboard, it's a really competitive league. And so that's why I say you want to join like Monday night. But anyway, I've just been working and working and working, and I've been using, to get more points, I've been using a new feature that they have, called stories. So if you're competing on these leaderboards, if you do compete, make sure you use the stories if you have them, okay? And then that way you can get more points and you can complete lessons faster. But there are 4 points, all right? So point number 1 is, reason why you shouldn't use the leaderboards on Duolingo is, it wastes your precious time. It wastes a lot of time, okay? Because you're just on here just practicing, practicing, practicing. And that's probably one of the first mistakes that I made when I first started learning Italian. I was just using Duolingo and nothing else. If you're learning a language, you can use Duolingo as a supplement, but it should not be your main way of learning. Number 2 is the learning is not as effective because you're trying to get more and more points. You're trying to do more and more exercises, and it's not really effective. So after this week, no more leaderboards for me for now. Point number 3 is the fastest way to get points is through stories. But only certain people have access to stories. So if you are a native English speaker, for example, and if you're learning Spanish, French, Italian, and I think German or something like this. I think it's like 5 languages for Americans that where you can use stories. Now, as far as other native speakers, I don't know. But it's not really that fair because only a certain amount of people have access to stories. And you have people from all around the world using Duolingo for these competitions, right? And not everybody has access to stories. So the only people who can reach the top really are the people who have stories. And on top of that, it depends on the language. Some languages have more stories than other languages. So if you're practicing, for example, with Italian, if you're using the stories in Italian, you can't really compete with somebody who has a Spanish course, because the Spanish course has many stories where you can get more and more and more and more points. Like Meredith, this woman who is killing, she has about 2,800 points right now, and I have 5,000. So I'm trying to stay at number 1. But anyway, it's craziness. So this will probably be the last week. It's just, it doesn't make sense to do this. It's not really a point to get more and more points, and I did learn some new words, but it's just not really useful. And then point number 4 is the goal of Duolingo is to get you to use Duolingo, right? I mean, they want you to learn, but they want you to also use Duolingo more and more and more. And that's the mistake that I made. When I first learned Italian, the first year, 15 months, it was just Duolingo, Duolingo, repeat, 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 repeat. But I couldn't speak really. And so just use Duolingo as a supplement, and then you should be okay.